What's going on, guys? This is Aaron from Departures Capital and welcome to the video. In this video, we're introducing an exciting new company to the channel, and that company is called Allied Copper. Now, Allied Copper is a copper exploration company with assets in Nevada, Colorado, Utah, along with having a multi-year growth pipeline. So in this video, we're going to introduce them, talk all about the company, their assets, what they're all about. And I'm excited to be talking about copper, guys, because as we know right now, it seems to be that we're in an awesome commodity bull market, and I don't see that ending anytime soon. So now might be an interesting time to take a look at copper companies. Let's get into the video. Last but not least, of course, for full disclosure details, this is a sponsored video. Always check the description down below for full disclosure details, along with thoroughly reading our disclaimer, and always remembering that these videos are not financial advice. With that being said, guys, I bring you Allied Copper. Also, don't forget to leave us a like if you do appreciate the videos that we put out, along with hitting that subscribe button and the bell for notifications on future videos. And finally, drop us a comment down below and let us know your thoughts on the company. So guys, here we have it, alliedcoppercorp.com. That is their website. We're going to be taking a look at that. The first thing I did want to take a look at, however, was the stock and the performance recently. So Allied Copper trades on the TSX Venture under ticker symbol CPR. .V or ticker symbol CPR. Currently has a market cap of $8.7 million and a 52-week range of 19 cents all the way up to 68 cents. So let's take a quick look at the stock chart to see how it's performed over the last little while. So taking a look at the stock chart, as we can see here, guys, over the past couple months, Allied Copper consolidated around the 20-cent level, then recently ran up all the way to about 33 cents, pulled back a bit, but we're still higher than where we were before. Now might be an interesting time to take a look at the company because it looks like it is attempting to consolidate a little bit higher than where it was before. So let's just keep that in mind. Of course, this is not financial advice. This is just a simple, quick look at the charts. So next thing I want to do is actually head on over to their website to get a better idea of what the company does. So what's the company's mission? Their mission is to acquire and develop long-life, scalable copper assets with a focus on the Western United States. So they're focusing on the United States, which is pretty important. Obviously, we know mining jurisdictions these days can be very, very important, especially in terms of the political environment. So they operate with a low-cost and high-growth strategy driven by efficient and transparent operations in all areas of the business. So on their website, you can find the presentation, projects, and news, along with some information about Nevada. But what I want to do right now is I want to go straight into their investor presentation to get a better idea of what the company is all about. So here we have it, guys. Allied Copper Corp, TSX Venture, CPR, OTCQB, CPRRF, exploring for a greener tomorrow. And this is very recent, as of March 22nd, their investor presentation. So let's talk a little bit about the opportunity. Global demand, recognized tier 1 jurisdiction, dedicated team, and pipeline. As we know, demand for copper continues to increase as the driving industries keep growing due to a rising population and the proliferation growth of green technologies. Management expects copper price to trade between $4 to $5 a pound US in 2022. Nevada is recognized as a top global mining jurisdiction with an experienced workforce and a history of surrounding resource development. So as we know, in this day and age, with all the things that are going on in the world, focusing on a safe jurisdiction is very, very important for shareholders, for confidence, just for overall operations. Dedicated team, so leveraging management's technical and operational track record, growth-oriented with a focus on technically sound exploration and development assets. Management and advisors have diverse backgrounds, including engineering, geology, and investment banking. And finally, the pipeline. So in terms of what they're going to do with this pipeline, they plan to explore their current asset pipeline, acquire exploration assets focused on scalable resource bases, and acquire overlooked but technically sound development projects. So bullish copper demand outlook. So stagnant copper prices and lack of investment in new supply has meant fewer new copper projects. Major discovery rates of copper deposits have fallen drastically over the last 10 years. Without new capital investments, Commodity Research Unit, or CRU, predicts global copper mine production will drop from the current 20 million tons to below 12 million tons by 2034, leading to a supply shortfall of more than 15 million tons. Over 200 copper mines are expected to come to the end of their mine life before 2035, with too few mines in a pipeline to take their place. So we recently have seen the price of copper jump. They jumped 28% in the second half of 2020, the highest growth since mid-2009, and prices are forecast to rise 4% in 2021. Prices were driven higher by strong demand and surging imports in China. So guys, let's talk quickly about Electrification 2.0, because as we know, this whole green energy economy, electric vehicles, that's one of the big drivers when it comes to the price of copper and the need for copper. So Electrification 2.0, there is no shift from fossil fuels to green energy without copper. Demand for copper is projected to continue exceeding that of supply by the end of 2025. Governments including the United States, Europe, and China have all promised trillions worth of green infrastructure spending. As we know, green infrastructure spending needs a lot of copper. China follows through on its promise to go 100% electric. That would mean 2.4 million tons of copper per year. At the current production rate of 28 million tons a year, that's a 12% increase worth of copper production just to produce enough copper for electric cars in China. So with all that being said, guys, evidence points to pretty good fundamentals for copper. So let's take a look at what Allied Copper has in terms of their project. So the SK property. The SK property is a copper gold porphyr project at the intersection of the well-known Battle Mountain Eureka Trend and Warm Springs lineament. It is comprised of 316 unpatented lode claims for a total area of 2,560 hectares. Nevada is the top-ranked mining jurisdiction for investment in the world, as stated by the Fraser Institute. So this SK property has a mining legacy. So the Silver King mine was discovered in 1870 with limited and sporadic production prior to World War II, and then drilled by the Anaconda Copper Corp in the early 1980s. Anaconda ceased to exist before they could begin a planned Phase 2 drill program. So the property has multiple drill targets available to test the porphyr system. So what is their exploration model? Because as we know, they're an exploration company, so this is very important. So Allied Copper will be exploring in the southern extents of Battle Mountain Eureka Trends, where they intersected the Warm Springs lineament. So feel free to pause this investor presentation at any point, guys. I'm just going over the key points and the things that I feel like I should be highlighting when it comes to Allied Copper. So here's some information about the historic drilling that was done on the property, the grades, all of that. Let's talk a little bit about geology. So Anaconda's historic drilling intersected thick zones of base and precious metal mineralization with numerous thinner, higher grade zones. So there we have it. Now we're jumping to their Klondike property. So the Klondike property is a sediment-hosted copper and silver project located in the Paradox Copper Belt in western Colorado. It is comprised of 76 unpatented lode claims with a state lease totaling 843 hectares. Highlights include high-grade copper and silver at surface, year-round road access, and drill-ready targets. Similar sediment-hosted copper is actively being mined at the Lisbon Valley mine, approximately 50 kilometers to the northwest. Here's a little bit of information about the geology, but I'm not going to get too much into that. If we do end up having their CEO on at a later date, definitely be talking about geology. But for now, like I said, I'm just focusing on those key points, the mining jurisdictions, the properties, and just summing it up for you guys. The results of a 2021 mapping and sampling program confirmed historical high-grade copper and silver occurrences throughout the property. Now we've got their State Line property. So the State Line property is a copper and silver project located in San Juan County, Utah, and San Miguel County in Colorado. It's comprised of 22 unpatented mining claims totaling 148 hectares. The property is located 10 kilometers southeast of the Lisbon Valley mining complex. The property is road accessible, and rock and chip sampling work has been done. Similar sediment-hosted copper is actively being mined at the Lisbon Valley mine. So once again, we have more information about geology. I'm going to leave it up to you guys if you want to pause the video, learn a little bit more about that property's geology. But we're going to go to now the capital structure. So insiders own 59% and other own 41%. Currently we have just 59 million shares, just over 59 million shares, almost 60 million shares fully diluted. And then of course, management team, which is always very important. Whenever you're looking at a company, doing your research and due diligence, management should always be a big part of your research because they are at the end of the day the people who are running the company. And I always look also for, a past track record of success. All right, guys, so finally we're going to go over quickly the investment highlights. So long-term global demand, electrification and the EV revolution are two of the largest global shifts driving demand. Management expects copper to trade between $4 and $5 a pound. Experienced management team, focused team with cross-disciplinary experience, construction, exploration, investment banking, and operations. Then we've got geology and jurisdiction. SK project is located in the recognized Battle Mountain Eureka Trend. Nevada is recognized as a top global mining jurisdiction. Klondike project located within the Paradox Copper Belt of San Miguel County, Colorado. Stateland project located within the Lisbon Valley Mining Complex, Colorado and Utah. And finally, a strategic growth pipeline. So executing on exploration plans for SK, that is in Nevada, Klondike, Colorado, and Stateland, Colorado and Utah copper projects. So not just one project, guys. The company has multiple, which is definitely something nice to see. Projects are known copper mineralized belts, exploration through to development, continual evaluation of copper projects for potential acquisition. Finally, we've got a quote here for you guys. Copper will see the strongest demand growth between 2021 and 2025. So analysts made more than 70% of participants polled at the 30th BMO Global Metals and Mining Conference in March 2021. So that's where that's from. And that's it, guys. So I wanted to simply introduce this company, go over their projects, their properties, the potential for copper. And, it's interesting that this company has a couple projects in such safe mining jurisdictions, yet the company is trading for such a low valuation. Of course, more research to be done. These videos are not financial advice, but with that being said, that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know your comments down below. Love to hear all of your comments, and that's it for the video, guys. We'll see you in our next video. If you like these videos, kindly hit that subscribe button and the bell for notifications. Drop us a comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. And finally, always remember, Departures Capital is for information, education, and entertainment purposes only. Don't buy or sell a stock because you heard it on here. Buy or sell a stock because you've done your research, you've done your thorough due diligence, and you're making your own personal investment decisions for yourself. This video is not financial advice. Furthermore, this video may or may not have been sponsored by the companies that we've profiled within this video, and we may or may not own shares of any of the profiled companies in this video. If you want to know the full disclosure details, check the description down below along with thoroughly reading our disclaimer. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video.